What if I told you that Iker Casillas was never truly afraid of the shot from Lionel Messi, nor the power of Cristiano Ronaldo? What if the real nightmare came 3 seconds before the ball was even kicked? 3 seconds where time slows down. 3 seconds where your instincts betray you. 3 seconds where history decides whether you become a hero or a footnote. Tonight, a legend breaks his silence. And what he admits about Messi and Ronaldo will change the way you see football forever. Before we begin, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to hear is not the kind of truth you find on highlight reels. To understand why this confession matters, you need to understand where Iker Casillas was standing, not just on the pitch, but in football history. For more than a decade, Casillas was the last wall of Real Madrid, El Clásico after El Clásico. Champions League nights where one mistake meant elimination, humiliation, silence. He faced Lionel Messi at the peak of Barcelona's positional tyranny. He faced Cristiano Ronaldo at the moment football discovered what relentless efficiency truly meant. This wasn't theory. This wasn't television debate. This was a goalkeeper alone, 12 meters from destiny. And while the world today debates numbers, Messi still producing absurd figures at 38, Ronaldo once delivering 50 to 60 goals per season. Casillas speaks from a different place. A place where statistics arrive after the damage is done. Because from his perspective, the danger was never the finish itself. It was the moment before, the body shape, the pause, the choice that hadn't been made yet but already felt inevitable. So here's the real question. How can two players destroy the same goalkeeper, in completely opposite ways? Casillas didn't come to this realization overnight. It wasn't born in a studio interview or a calm post-career reflection. It came in the middle of chaos, a packed stadium, noise so loud it feels physical, and that familiar, unbearable sensation every goalkeeper knows, the feeling that something bad is about to happen even before you understand why. Against Messi, Casillas remembers moments when nothing looked dangerous, no sprint, no obvious shooting angle, no dramatic wind-up, and yet his body reacted too early. One step to the left, Casillas would later admit. One breath too soon. That was enough, because Messi didn't beat him with force. He beat him with delay, a half pause, a disguised intention, a decision made so late that the goalkeeper's reflex, his greatest weapon, became his greatest weakness. Against Ronaldo, the feeling was different. The danger announced itself. The run was aggressive, the posture direct, the intention brutal and unapologetic, but paradoxically, that clarity was terrifying in its own way. You knew what was coming, you prepared for it, and still, you were wrong by centimeters. Casillas began to understand something disturbing. Messi didn't ask the goalkeeper to choose, he made the choice for him. Ronaldo forced the goalkeeper to choose, and punished him for choosing wrong. Two paths, same outcome. And that's when Casillas realized the fear wasn't the shot, it was the moment before certainty existed. When Casillas speaks about the 3 seconds before the shot, he isn't being poetic, he's being surgical. Those 3 seconds are where goalkeeping logic lives, or dies. The moment the attacker receives the ball, the goalkeeper starts calculating. Angle, distance, body, orientation, supporting foot, possible outcomes. Against most players, this process is almost automatic. Patterns repeat. Habits betray intention. But Messi breaks that system. Casillas explains that Messi's body never tells the full truth. His hips lie. His eyes mislead. His rhythm slows the game just enough to make the goalkeeper think he has time. And that's the trap. Because the moment Casillas felt in control, he already wasn't. Those 3 seconds became elastic. They stretched. They distorted perception. By contrast, Ronaldo compressed time. Everything happened fast, but clean. Explosive movement, clear intention, maximum power applied with minimal hesitation. The goalkeeper had no illusion of control, only reaction. But here's the cruel paradox Casillas reveals. Messi makes you move too early. Ronaldo makes you move too late. Both steal the same thing, certainty. And in goalkeeping, uncertainty is fatal. This is why Casillas insists the fear didn't come from goals conceded. It came from the realization that his instincts, honed over thousands of matches, were being manipulated. Not beaten, manipulated. So ask yourself this: is it worse to be outplayed or outthought? Casillas' confession doesn't exist in isolation. History backs him up, quietly, relentlessly. Look back at the great finishers before Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo Nazario overwhelmed you with acceleration. Thierry Henry punished you with angles. Zinedine Zidane decided matches with moments of clarity. But even then, goalkeepers could recognize danger. With Messi and Ronaldo, recognition stopped being enough. Messi didn't just score goals, he reprogrammed defensive reflexes. Goalkeepers began staying on their line longer. Defenders hesitated to step out. Entire backlines collapsed inward, not because of speed, but because of doubt. Ronaldo, on the other hand, forced evolution through violence of efficiency. Goalkeepers trained explosive lateral power. Defensive blocks dropped deeper. Margins shrank to millimeters because anything more was fatal. Two different pressures. Same result. The old rule stopped working. Casillas noticed something else that statistics never show. Against Messi, the stadium went silent before the shot. Against Ronaldo, it exploded as he struck the ball. Different sounds, different fears. And yet, for the goalkeeper, the end was identical. A late dive, a frozen foot, a ball already gone. This is why Casillas insists the debate is misunderstood. It's not about elegance versus power. It's not about assists versus goals. It's about how they dismantled decision-making itself. One stole time, the other stole space. And once those two elements are gone, football becomes inevitable. So the question isn't who was better. The real question is this: which kind of inevitability would you rather face? You would think football would adapt. That technology, data, and endless video analysis would finally neutralize this kind of threat. Casillas doesn't believe so. Today's goalkeepers study tendencies down to decimals, preferred shooting zones, conversion percentages, historical patterns from identical situations. But here's the uncomfortable truth Casillas points out. Messi and Ronaldo didn't break systems. They broke human reaction. No algorithm can prepare you for a decision that is delayed on purpose. No spreadsheet can simulate a player who chooses after you move. Against Messi, modern goalkeepers are taught patience. But patience becomes paralysis when the attacker controls the rhythm. Against Ronaldo, they're taught anticipation. But anticipation collapses when execution is flawless. Casillas argues that this is why younger goalkeepers still look helpless in certain moments. Not because they lack talent, but because they are facing problems without solutions. You can train speed, you can train strength, you can train positioning, but you cannot train certainty, when certainty is exactly what the attacker removes. That's the legacy Casillas identifies. Not goals, not trophies, but a permanent vulnerability injected into the most solitary position in football. And maybe that's the most terrifying part, because long after the debate ends, goalkeepers will still feel those 3 seconds. So maybe Casillas didn't settle the Messi-Ronaldo debate, but he did something far more unsettling. He revealed that the greatest damage they caused wasn't on the scoreboard. It was inside the mind of the man standing alone in goal. Messi stole time. Ronaldo stole space. And both left certainty impossible. Now it's your turn. If you were the goalkeeper, which fear would haunt you more? Being moved too early, or being punished for moving too late? And if this story made you see Messi and Ronaldo differently, don't let it end here. Subscribe, because more legends are still holding back truths like this one. Football doesn't end at the goal. Sometimes it begins 3 seconds before it.